We're going to be doing surface area of prisms and cylinders. This is the second unit in this, second section of this unit, 11.2. Let's get started. We have some vocabulary. We have a prism. You need to know what a prism is. A prism is a polyhedra that meets two criteria. Here we go. It has two bases. We've noticed that in the past, that it has two bases. They're congruent bases. They're not different shapes from each other. They're congruent. And the other faces are parallelograms. And the faces are called lateral faces. They're called what?
Lateral faces.
Good job. Here's a picture. Here's a picture. You have this one in your notes. I would suggest that you actually start drawing these now. I would suggest that you actually draw the word lateral faces and put arrows to them. Okay? Or you could just write on them lateral faces. It's up to you. And I would suggest that you write the word base and you put arrows to them like this one. You might even write that the lateral faces are parallelograms and the bases are congruent. You might write that underneath. The assignments you're going to have, your lateral faces will be even more specific. They will be parallelograms, but they will be rectangles. Okay, they won't. Nice. Yeah, they won't be tilted or anything. Squished. And your bases will be congruent. This is a prism. What kind of prism is this one based on?
Pentagonal?
Yes, right. Pentagonal. It's a pentagon. All right. There are two types of prisms, and one of them we will be doing and one we will not. There are right prisms. And there are oblique prisms. We will only be doing right ones. We will not be doing oblique. Here's a right prism. A right prism has its sides are perpendicular to the bases. But oblique ones, this is what they look like. Those are the ones we were talking about where they'll be a little squished. We will not be doing these kinds. All right? We're going to learn the simple ones, and later you'll have to move to those in some other class. Okay? All right, here we go for surface area. To find the surface area, we use this formula. You have been memorizing it. 2b plus pH. I would suggest you write this somewhere on your paper because we're going to translate what these letters mean.
I'm assuming it's not base height. The P means something or another.
It is, actually. But
perimeter?
P is perimeter, but the capital B means something different than the lowercase b. This capital B means an area of the base. So you're going to have to remember your formulas for the area of the bases, and that is exactly why we memorize them with formula madness. So that because you're going to have a different formula for a pentagonal one than you would for a hexagonal one or a square or a triangle, okay? So you need to remember your formula for your bases. Your P stands for perimeter of the base. And your H stands for the height of the lateral faces. Let me know when you're ready to go move on after you've written those things down.
Yeah, I'm just going to write that.
A cylinder is very similar to a prism except that its bases are circles and its lateral face is one continuous rectangle wrapped around. Okay? You have the base here. You have this on your paper. You have a base at the top and the bottom. And you have a lateral face that's all the way around. You have a radius and a height also. You might want to draw that on your picture there.
No.
Here we go.
The reason we have to get that really
The surface area of a cylinder, we're going to use this formula. You ready? It's very similar to this 2b plus pH. What did we say the capital B stood for?
Base.
The area of the base. What is the area of our base? What kind of base do we have?
So it's the same formula as the...
Except we're going to substitute some things in for that capital B.
Oh.
What are we going to substitute in for that capital B?
2 pi r squared.
So it'll have a 2 pi r squared, and in that perimeter, the perimeter of a circle is the circumference. So we'll also have a pi r. So we'll have this one, actually. We're going to substitute in 2 pi r squared, or the pi r squared for the base. We substituted this in for the base. And we substituted the 2 pi r for the perimeter. I'm telling you this, it'll help you memorize it better if you understand where it came from. Okay? This is what you memorize for your Formula Madness. All right. Here we go. Let's do some examples. We're going to do numbers 1 through 4. 1 through 4. Make sure you read the instructions. We're going to find this. Find the surface area for each figure. Round your answers to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Leave your answer in terms of pi for answers that contain pi. This one will contain pi because it's a circle. I am going to suggest you do this. I am going to suggest that you write the formula. Surface area, I'm going to suggest that you write it for every time. You'll have it in there for Mad Minutes when you do this. What is the formula for this?
Wait, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h.
All right. Two pi, what's your radius?
6.
Good. Plus 2 pi, what's your r? Again is 6. Times 11. Be really careful. You're going to leave this in terms of pi. So don't put pi in your calculator. Leave it out. Okay? So over here we're going to have 6 times 2.
Oh, wait.
This is going to be 12 pi. You with me so far? Amy, you have a question? And then over here, we're going to do 2 times 6 times 11. 132 pi. That's what I got. And then, what do I do now?
Can't you add them together?
Yes, you can. They both have pi, so they're like terms.
It's 6 squared.
Oh, we forgot a squared.
What?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My answer was really different.
That's right. We got a squared. Thank
That's
you.
36 plus
Times
30
2.
times 2, which is going to be 64. No,
Wait, 3.
72.
72. Thank you, Naraya.
Wait, that would be
204.
38. And then,
Not 38, Amy.
wait.
72.
It would be, oh, it's times 2, so it would be 6.
72 plus 132 equals how much?
204.
204 pi. Be careful because
KM.
we have kilometers or kilometers, but we did area. Squared. Very
I
good.
didn't see the A there, so I had to.
Very good. We had to leave it in terms of pi. All right. Heidi, how you doing over there? All right. We have a rectangular or square prism. We're going to have surface area is 2 times the base plus the perimeter times the height. Our base is a square. So we're going to have side squared and perimeter.
No, it's a rectangle. Because look, see all that 10 and 8.
Oh, you're right. So this is really a length times width. Different lengths. Be careful. I'm going to do an L and a W so I can have a different PL.
Oh,
All right.
PL?
What?
I thought it was P height.
Oh, is it PH? Oh, I'm sorry.
PH.
Right, it is. 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 It is.
Wait.
Okay. No stress then.
And wouldn't you put the 2 LW in parentheses or LW in parentheses?
It doesn't really matter. Associative property says we can multiply in any order. What's wrong, Amy? What's
Where
wrong?
did you get that from?
This formula right here, Amy, says that this is the base. Okay. What kind of base do we have?
In the rectangle.
We have a rectangle. So in the place of that B, I put the formula, because this is the area of the base. How do I find the area of that base? It's length times width. You had to have memorized that one a long time ago from the past. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
For the most part.
Yeah. You don't even have to write this part if you don't want to. You could just know that the area over here is 8 times...
10, which is 80.
Oh, 8 times 10, which is 80. So we could just do 2 times 80 there if you wanted, knowing the area of the base.
What's the formula for the perimeter, though?
And what is the perimeter? How do you find perimeter?
All the way around.
It's the distance around. It's the distance around.
So
So it's 8 plus 10, and let's do this.
So
8 plus 10
16
and
plus
8
20.
plus 10. So 16 plus 20. So 36 times the height, which is this height here.
Which is 10, right?
Wait.
8.
8. You can just put that straight in your calculator if you'd like. What did anybody get for that?
448
448. Did you get that, Heidi?
Yards
yards squared.
squared.
What did you get for that answer for number 2? We got 448. 448. Is that what you got?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right, let's move on to number 3. I suggest you write the formula. Surface area equals 2 capital B plus pH. But what shape is the base?
Trapezoid.
How do you find the area of a trapezoid?
B1 plus B2 times height.
1/2 H B1 plus B2. I am going to take that and put it in the place of the B over here. So I'm going to write it like this. 2 times 1/2 plus the perimeter and H. That's what I'm going to do. And my 2 and my 1/2 will cancel. H's, be really careful. I'm going to circle this one in yellow. This height's different than this height. So I have one circled in yellow because one's the height of the trapezoid and one's height of the prism. So I'm circling one in yellow, and that's the one that's the height of the prism. Excuse me, the height of the trapezoid. What is the height of the trapezoid? 2.6. My base 1 and base 2, that's of the trapezoid.
Wait,
But it is
but then what's the height of the prism? Because we need that for the pH.
That's exactly right. I'll get to that. Let's just tell me the height of the trapezoid right now.
Just give me a second.
What was this? Oh, wait.
So the trapezoid right here, I'm going to highlight it in yellow, is right here.
3 plus 6.
3 plus 6, because here's one of them. And here's the other one, which is the same as that one over there. Okay? All right, so we have a 3 plus 6 plus the perimeter of the trapezoid. The perimeter of the trapezoid is
3
3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3. That was 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3.
So 9 plus 6.
Yes. Which is how much?
What's the height of the...
Just a second. I'm going to go there. What is 9 plus 6?
9 plus 6?
15.
15. That's for our perimeter. Now, the height of the entire thing is the distance between the two trapezoids right here. The distance between the two trapezoids, which is how much?
4.
Yes, 4. It's very important that we go through this because they're difficult. And then you can just stick that in your calculator as is. What'd you get, Amy?
83.4.
So I gotta
83.4. Heidi, is that what you got?
Yes.
Inches squared. Very good. I want to do number 4 now. All right, number 4. This is a prism again, and we're going to do surface area equals 2 times the base plus the perimeter times the height. How do I find the area of that base? What kind of base is that?
It's a hexagon.
How do you find the area of a hexagon?
You just need a pothum.
The half
Is
pothum
it
times
one
the
half pothum perimeter?
Yes. So instead of writing B, I'm going to do a 2. And I'm going to do times 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter, plus the perimeter. Careful. Oh, that P is the same as that
Yes.
other P. Good. What happens to my 2 and my half?
That cancel each other out.
Yes. What is my apothem?
7.8.
My perimeter, be careful.
54.
How did you get 54?
6 times 9.
6 times 9. Your perimeter again is 54. Now we need the height. That's the distance between the two
Wouldn't that be
hexagons. That will be 10. That's correct. And then you can put this in your calculator and go straight through.
961.2
961.2
feet.
feet squared. Heidi, is that what you got?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's what we got also. All right. All right. All right, let's review what we did. Now you know, wait, you've seen a prism and a cylinder and the vocabulary associated with it, and you can find this surface area using the 2 formulas. Okay? The trick comes, though, is remembering all the formulas with that base. We have different bases that you're going to have to plug in for those areas for those bases. Okay? All right, I hope this has been helpful. Goodbye.